Hey guys, it is Emma. I am so excited to be here today. This is the very first video I have ever made. Just gonna admit that right now. But it's fine because I'm not talking about me. Well, I kind of am because I'm talking about my own experiences, because I am a Disney College Program alumni, which means I had the opportunity to go to Florida this past spring from January to July. Yes, because I was a spring Disney College Program member. That's awesome. I extended from my original end date, which was in May, to August, which was awesome. Such a great opportunity. I was so happy to have that. You're gonna see my hand moving right here because I'm refreshing my laptop, so ignore it. But today, I'm basically going to talk to you guys about how my application process went, because I was accepted on my very first time applying. I'm a sophomore at Missouri State right now, and I applied right after I finished my very first fall semester of college, so I'm a little baby. But yeah, hopefully I can help you guys out with some tips and tricks on how to get in on your first try. Or if you're applying for the 5th time, then hopefully you can take these to heart, and next time will be the time to win. So I'm really sorry, that was very cliche and it did not make sense, but you know what I mean. I'm hoping the best for you. But yeah, so I have a few tips about applying and what I did and what the process was kind of like, and then after that I'm gonna say the top 5 things that I wish I could tell myself before I started the program. And so it's kind of also like 5 things that I'm wanting to remember, because I applied and got accepted for the Spring Advantage 2019 program. So I'm going back to Florida and I'm so excited and I cannot wait. So these are also 5 things that I would like to tell myself and kind of just remember. So let's get started. 1, make sure that the Disney College Program is even right for you. So many people apply and then they get accepted and they get to Florida and it's not what they expected. It's a lot of work, so go prepared to work. I think that the least amount of hours I got in a week was around 40. Usually I was rocking like close to 60. So that's something to think about if you're not prepared to work that much, or maybe you haven't had a job before, which if you're in college and you haven't had a job yet, but whatever. But yeah, it's a huge commitment. It's a huge time commitment. It's not just a 7 or 8 month long vacation. So just keep that in mind. If you self-term, the way I see it, if it's not for a logical reason, because I totally understand like family or health reasons or personal matters, I completely understand that. But a lot of people self-term just because they're bored or just because it's not fun anymore. But there are so many college kids who applied and didn't get accepted. So in my eyes, I think that you should stay for them. But make sure that the college program is right for you. If it's not the type of commitment that you can make right now, then maybe wait and apply another time. So then moving on to when you are actually applying. The very first thing that you'll go through is your initial application. So this is just like a job application anywhere. You'll submit a resume and fill out a ton of questions. And one tip that I would give is attach a cover letter as well. It's not required, but it shows the recruiters that you're willing to go the extra step, that you really want this. And I'm a writer, like I'm a communications major, but my minor is screenwriting and technical writing, and so I love the power that words can have, and I know how words can make people feel things. So maybe your cover letter ends up being the extra push that those recruiters need to submit you through. Second, as you are applying, your initial application gives you the opportunity to list what roles you want, or what roles you have interest in. So you'll like scroll through high interest, moderate interest, low interest, no interest. If you do not want a role or you really have no interest, mark no interest. Like I've worked in food and beverage before, And so I knew that I didn't want to do that again in Disney World. I could have, like, it would have been fine. Your program's what you make of it. But I didn't want to. It's not for me. So I put no interest, because your recruiters will consider you for any position that you put an interest in. So even if it's low interest, your recruiters will put you in consideration for that position. Your recruiters want you to get in as well. So they will be able to, like, look through your application. I cannot talk today. Okay, so your recruiters want you to get in. So they'll be able to look through your application, and they're trained to do this, so they know what type of person should fill what type of role, and that's their job. So you will get in for the role that you need to get in. That's all I'm saying. Third and finally, the final step is the phone interview. Smile and relax. Ultimately, you're just having a conversation with another person. That's all it is. And this person on the phone wants to put you through to the college program. They want you to get in. Another thing that I did, and I was probably like you, and I stressed out a ton, and I did so much research, and that research probably just stressed me out more. So what I did is I made a Google Doc of every possible question that I heard had been asked, and I typed up, like, my potential responses to those questions. That really helped me, because when I was on the phone, I was able to pull up that document, and when my recruiter called me, I typed her name at the top of the document so that I knew her name and I could address her later on and thank her for the interview. And that helped me, because if I ever, like, was too nervous and got caught up on a question, then I could go back, I could find the question in my notes, and I could be like, oh yeah, okay, I remember, that's what I was gonna say. Don't read it word for word off of the document. It won't flow like a conversation, so it might be more awkward. Okay, so next, I would love to talk about the 5 things that I wish I could tell myself before I left for the program. So first, your program is completely what you make of it, no matter what role you get. I was custodial my first program, and obviously, looking at my acceptance letter and seeing that was the role that I got, I was like,
I'm too good to sweep up trash all day, and
stop. So going into it, you may have preconceived notions, you may think it's the worst thing in the entire world, but I loved my program. I met so many incredible people. Guys, I can't even explain it to you. Like, I met people who were my best friends. I still talk to them every single day. They mean so much to me. Everyone that I knew extended into a different role, whereas I was in custodial and I stayed with the same role because I loved it that much and it was that important to me. And I wouldn't have tried it for anything. If you go in thinking that you're gonna have a terrible time, you will. So it'll be good, I promise. No, that's worse. That's worse. Secondly, find your happy place. So there's gonna be days where you feel like crying, and you'll wish that you didn't come, and your leaders will be mean to you, and guests will be mean to you. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have guests tell you that you ruined their vacation. You're gonna have guests say that you are like a terrible person. I've had so many horror stories about this, but find your happy place, because when you feel like the Disney magic is draining, that's when you're less able to give Disney magic to other people, and that's not good. So for me, my happy place was on top of the train station in Magic Kingdom. I could see Cinderella Castle, and it was beautiful, and that alone reminded me why I was there. But I could also see families walking in with their little kids for the very first time and watching their kids turn the corner and see the castle. That is an incredible moment, because that is when the magic comes alive for them. And you need to find places where you'll fill up on that magic, because we can give it away as much as we want, but we've got to keep that full within ourselves. Okay, third, make magical moments. This was the best part of my job. One magical moment that I made was a little different. So I was stationed in Magic Kingdom in Liberty Square, and so I got to see the fireworks every single night, which was beautiful, never gets old. But from the back of the castle, you can't see Tinkerbell fly. And so the people that are behind the castle during fireworks anyways are like maybe guests who are there for the first time and they were just doing their own thing, and then the fireworks started and they're like, oh, we'll stop and watch them from here. And so like 3/4 of the way through the fireworks, I'll walk up to a family and I'll talk to the kids directly. I won't address the parents yet. And I'll say, hey, Mickey told me that he needs your help with the finale of the fireworks. And they will like jaws drop. They're like, I'm a very important person if Mickey needs my help. And I'm like, yeah, you are. And so I'll walk them over very discreetly to the spot where they can see Tinkerbell fly. And I'll be like, okay, so obviously pulling off the end of the fireworks takes a lot of pixie dust. So the way that pixie dust works, obviously, is that you have to think happy thoughts. So I needed them to think of as many happy thoughts as they could think of, like think super hard. And they were like, yeah, we can do that. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, you know what? I think tonight, since you guys have a lot of happy thoughts, we could use some more pixie dust. Okay, so who do you think could bring pixie dust for us? And they were like, Tinkerbell. And I was like, you're so right. And so I told them to look up at the top of the castle because that's where we keep our pixie dust. And maybe if they think enough happy thoughts, then we can get this finale started. And the parents are like, by this time, they're like, okay, this is kind of crazy. And they're starting to videotape and stuff. And by the time my spiel is over, Tinkerbell is flying. Their kids are going crazy. I had so many parents and grandparents crying, and the kids were going crazy and asking me if that was really Tinkerbell. And I was like, yeah, you saw her. Like, that's Tinkerbell. And it's an amazing experience. So that's like one example of a magical moment that I made. No one told me to. None of the leaders told me that that was a thing. I just kind of did it. And that was my favorite part of my program. I even have Tinkerbell on my necklace. You definitely can't see that, and I think she's upside down. I got it right before I left my program because I was like, I need magical moments in my own life back in college, and I need to remember that these are a thing. 4th, remember why you're there. You're there for those kids. We get so many benefits, we get so many discounts, and it's so much fun for us to work for Disney, but ultimately we're there for the guests because magic doesn't exist without us. Plain and simple. If you have gone to Disney for your whole life, and if you've gone to the parks, you've had incredible memories, but those memories wouldn't be possible without the CPs at that time or without other cast members. And so we are the people making that magic now. So the days you don't want to come to work are the days that you think your leader sucks and they make your job miserable. Remember, you're not doing it for the leader, you're doing it for the guests. So I don't know, that just makes it a little easier for me. And 5th and finally, you have so many magical days left ahead of you. You have so many best days of your life. I mean, this is just in general, not necessarily in your program. You have so many best days of your life and magical moments that you don't even know exist. And this is something that I think about all the time when I'm talking to my future roommates, because I feel like all of us girls are already so close. And I keep telling them, like, I know of some of the things that we get to go through, like traditions or casting, some of those incredible opportunities, and like you guys still get to experience that. And I'm so blessed that I know they're coming so I can like watch my friends grow. I'm so excited for what's in store. And I hope that this helped you guys a little bit. Sorry that this was a long video, but hopefully you guys can take some of this to mind and to heart, and it could help you next time you apply for the program. And if you already got accepted and you're just waiting like I am to go back, enjoy the days that you're waiting because it flies by, and once the time before your program is over, that's when your program starts, and I promise it will go by so fast. And as soon as it starts, it's over. Clear up any loose ends here so that you can move and have no ties necessarily and be completely in Florida or completely in California or wherever you're doing your program.